Hi everybody, Dan Illman here, taking a look at the Grade 3 $225,000 Iowa Oaks, carded as race number 7 at Prairie Meadows on Saturday. It kicks off a 50-cent pick 4. Let's take a look at these 3-year-old fillies. There are some up-and-comers in this division, in this field. Candy Raid, the number 6, already has won a major race, a Kentucky Oaks point race. She won it at 52-1. It was the Bourbonnette Oaks over a synthetic track. They ran her in the Kentucky Oaks after that. She was in too tough. She had some trouble. From a class standpoint, she fits very well here. But as we look from the Timeform US pace projector standpoint, boy, she needs some help. She is a one-run closer, dependent on race and pace luck, and maybe she'll get some pace. Because the one Free Like a Girl drew inside and gotta be close to the pace. That's her best running style. And the 7 Hartley set some solid fractions last time out in the local prep for this race. The Panthers, it just looks like her best running style is to get to the front. So maybe a little bit of cat and mouse game between the 1 and the 7 could set things up for the stalkers and the closers. And we'll begin our analysis with Free Like the Girl, and she's just a cool horse because she's won 7 of 13. She's only been off the board once in her life, and she scored last time out in good fashion at Evangeline. Now, she found a great spot against Louisiana-bred stakes horses. She was 1-2 in this race, but she also ran. They ran that second quarter mile in 23 flat. She was up close to the pace. She kept right on going. It seems that she is just as rock solid as they come. I wonder how much upside potential is left after 13 starts, and I wonder if she's truly a graded stakes horse. The one time she was worse than third in her life came in her one try against graded company, the Honeybee, although she was in against Secret Oath that day, and we know how good Secret Oath is. She, of course, won the Kentucky Oaks. Free Like a Girl, rock solid again. 3-1 on the morning line seems a little bit light. I'm going to need more before I back her to win. The 2 is Miss Hard Knocks, a horse going turf to dirt, and a horse that showed some ability earlier in her career. Stakes winner going a mile at Sunland Park, but ever since that race, the Allen fashion, just nothing's gone right. The Sunland Park Oaks, she was up close to a solid pace, and she tired badly. She didn't run well sprinting at Prairie Meadows 2 starts back, and throughout the last race where she was overmatched on a surface that she probably doesn't prefer, the turf. Getting back to dirt, I think she'll show some tactical speed, getting out to 2 turns, but her last few races just don't really excite, and I need to see a turnaround in form before I play her to win. Falconette's the number 3. Todd Pletcher has a great spot for this beautifully bred daughter of Super Stallion Uncle Mo and Grade 1 stakes winner Bird at the Wire. She won 2 starts back from slightly off the pace going 2 turns at Keeneland. She cut back slightly to a 1-turn mile last time at Churchill. She got a great ride from Tyler that day, who got her right up close to the pace, and she sprinted on home to win with a career best buyer of 80. I think she's all upside. I love her tactical speed. I think she's going to tuck in the second flight and loom boldly turning into the stretch. Butterbean is the number 4, and Butterbean, we're going to watch her last start. That was the first stakes where she runs down Hartley, one of the expected speeds. Now, Butterbean fell far back in the early portion of this race, and Glenn Corbett took a little bit of a chance on the second turn. Instead of going all the way around everybody, this horse had a head of steam, and Corbett decided to split horses in the 3 path and got into a little bit tight, bumped a little bit, didn't affect Butterbean in the slightest. She was able to finish strongly. This race hasn't come back very strong just yet, but the buyer certainly did for Butterbean, and 89. Now, the 89 came out of nowhere. It makes you wonder, was it pace aided? Was it just simply inflated? I guess we'll find out on Saturday. My personal opinion is let price be your guide. If Butterbean gets bet hard off that 5-1 morning line, I'd be willing to kind of look at that buyer's speed figure and say, let's prove it again. But if she stays around the 5-1 or even drifts a little bit, I'm willing to say she's an improving 3-year-old filly. She's only been off the board once in her career. Maybe she's just finding herself for trainer Kenny McPeak, and Butterbean should be running at the end of this race. My Friend Amy is the number 5. Second last time out at Lone Star. We're going to watch that race. I think she was hurt by the lack of pace in here. She tried to come from next to last in this 6-furlong sprint. She kind of made a little bit of a mid-race move. She flattened out. While she did finish ahead of a next-out winner, that third-place horse came back to win in only a $15,000 claiming race, and it was on turf with a 78 buyer speed figure. My Friend Amy has lots of seconds in her career. She's taking a step up into the graded stakes ranks for the first time, and she's just going to have to improve. Lane Lussey takes the mount. Candy Raid is the number 6. We saw her come from way out of it to upset the Bourbonnette Oaks. She had trouble when overmatched in the Kentucky Oaks, and her last race is a throwout on turf. If you believe the pace is fast, then Candy Raid is probably the horse for you, because you could argue that she has the strongest stretch kick. My argument is, at a short price, I'm not sure I love deep closers. any deep closer. And Candy Raid at 5-2 is likely going to be a short price. She has very competitive Beyer speed figures. She has faced top competition. But if she's 6-7 lengths in arrears turning into the stretch, she has a lot of work to do against some quality fillies. She's going to have them nailed on tight coming from off of the pace. Hartley, we just saw finish second to Butterbean. If you believe the pace was fast that day, DRF's Pace Ace believes that race aided closers. Timeform US doesn't have that race color-coded, saying it was a fair pace. Hartley was able to shake loose going down the backstretch, tried to stretch it out. That was a correct ride going into the turn, and she just was beaten by Butterbean, which is better than she was on the day. Her only win came in a $50,000 claimer sprinting, so she does have a lot to prove from a class standpoint and a distance standpoint. No silver spoons here, completes the field. She was claimed out of her winning career debut at Keeneland. She came right back. She ran an okay second as the favorite in a first-level allowance at Churchill going a mile and a 16th. My one concern about that race is it hasn't come back very strong just yet, and now no silver spoons here is not only stepping way up in class, but also going to face some other pace horses. She's been close to the pace in her first two races, and breaking from the outside, it's hard to imagine, unless she's just quarter-horsed out of there, that she's going to outsprint either the 7 Hartley or the 1 Free Like a Girl to the lead. So class and pace test for no silver spoons here, who's done a little wrong in her 2 lifetime starts. Before we get to my top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRFTV video offerings. Butterbean, maybe I'm setting myself up for a fall. Maybe that 89 Beyer speed figure's just inflated, or maybe it was pace aided. I really liked the way she was rallying on the turn in that race, went through some traffic and finished up. This is a tougher spot to be sure for her, but it's not like she's facing really any killers in this race. I want to give her one chance at the 5-1 morning line or greater. I do respect Todd Pletcher's runner in here, the number 3 Falconette. I have her in my selections. Candy Raid, the 6, should be running at the end of this race. Interesting race, the Iowa Oaks. Perhaps a springboard to something bigger and better this summer at Saratoga for one or more of these 3-year-old fillies. Good luck.